This is a real screenshot from today's video. There is no clickbait here. Now let's see how I did it. Here it is, the Bombus Dal Bomi. It's a tier 1 sniper, 2 enemies attack, it'll deal 1 damage, and you can see the damage gets to 2 and to 3 as you level it up. It is the star of today's show, and it's actually quite a common pet in customs and within its own pack, Danger Pack. It is a respected new pet, to be sure. But to see it do 100 damage would certainly be a sight. And I set myself the goal of doing it. I'll explain the mechanics later. But actually, there was some heartbreak involved in this run. So when you're going for a build like this, which, not to spoil it too much, but I need 3 tier 6s and I need all of them to be level 3. I'll say that again so we have clarity. I need 3 tier 6s, which won't become available until much later, and I need to get them all to level 3 while being carried by a tier 1 unit. So in order to get that, you require a tremendous amount of luck, both in the shop and the opponents you face. And basically, like, because this isn't just an easy, like, let's be honest, any experienced player could go and get 10 wins anytime they wanted in the customs arena. But to do this, like, creative side, you wait for that intersection of luck, shop and opponent. And I got it, dude. I got it pretty early on in the grind. And I was so happy. I watched the replay like a million times, like, oh, this is fantastic. And then I started playing a bit of ranked. And then I started playing a little bit more ranked. And a little bit of this, a little bit of hey, huh. And then suddenly, I'm like, okay, I'll record the Bombus Dal Bomi video now. I had played 20 games. I had used up all of my replay space. I thought, gee, that sucks. I guess I'll just do it again. 4 days later of so much grinding, I could not get it again. I just couldn't get the beautiful intersection. But I had a run that was kind of close, and I thought, you know what, I'll settle for that. Fast forward to today. I'm at the airport. Quick side note, I've traveled to Jakarta, the capital of Indonesia, to watch Blackpink. You know, when you pull up, you know it's a shutdown. I'll be in the platinum section, very close to stage, shouting out to Rose, the Australian member. Like, hey, I'm like you, you know, something like that. I haven't really worked out what I would... anyway, moving on. And I was waiting at the airport. I thought, you know what, why don't we run it back? And then it happened. The intersection of opponents and luck. And we need this unit, a visitor. And here's what's funny. This 1-1 visitor, which existed to be pilled originally, is going to stay on the team for the whole game as a 1-1. Incredible stuff. No improvement beyond its rookie season. Here's Freets. And we get lucky. So you can see the luck in the shop is happening. I'm closing in on a level 3 Bombus. I've got some elk value. This will sell for a lot of gold later. And I still have 4 lives left, despite my team not being all that good. All hail the skeleton dog. Here's Ronnie Maybe. There are a few players who run selectively, like ailment builds exclusively. And he seems to be one of them. I hope he's having fun. Income you, Mr. Turtle. Income level into the Dunkleosteus. So I made a video on this recently. Before attack, it will move its ailment to the first enemy with double effect. This is the first piece of the puzzle. As to not over-explain, we will just ball out. And actually, if I saw a pill at any point here, I would have pilled this visitor. But I actually think it surprised me as this run played out. I think it's better to keep it on your board and not pill onto the Dunkleosteus. And the reason, oh no, I'll show you next battle. There's a reason for that. Here's Camel Control Office. That's certainly a name. Camel is spelled. I'm not privy to the joke there. Anyway, here's a Flounder. We need so many levels that Flounder seems essential. And we're slowly building up. What is it? Turn 10. We've got 4 of the 5 units we need. Actually, let me explain here. This is why I think the whole time I've been grinding this, I should have been keeping the visitor on my team. So look, visitor dies. It gives Icky, which is the key ailment. Icky will make the attacker deal double damage, or the recipient of the Icky will take double damage twice. But look, now the visitor does its thing, and then when the Dunkleosteus comes up, it hits the next 2. This makes so much more sense. Unfortunately, for some reason, they put their big position in 4th place. It dodges the Icky. We drop a life. Now I'm down to 2 lives. You think, uh-oh. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs indeed. And there's the fourth unit, the Albatross. So, what's really difficult about this, your team ends up with supremely low stats, so you are so snipeable. So in addition to leveling up the Albatross, the Manticore, and the Dunkleosteus as much as possible, you also need Melon Armor. I have no extra gold generation, but I do have a Bombus Dalbomi that just did 42 damage right there. And why is that, you might ask? I'll explain it in the next battle. So now I've got melons on all the boys. Let's actually break this down. I'll slow-mo this battle. Looks like a loss, right? But here we go. So the Dunkleosteus gives Icky. That's one for the Bomber. Here comes the Bombus after this attack. The Bombus will do its thing. There it is. 42 damage. Why is it doing 42 damage? Icky makes the unit take double damage. The Manticore is then tripling that. And the Albatross is making the Bombus do extra damage. So look, I'm no math nerd. I'm anti-math in many respects. You can calculate exactly how that's working, but it leads to a 42 damage snipe. Now, our goal is to get to 100, and I was not going to rest until I got it. So how do I get there? It's simply leveling these two guys. And you'll see the math, the way it works, is going to lead to good things. So here's a big statted team. 50 damage there. The snipe comes in at 81 damage. 21 without the Icky, but it's enough to get over the line. So now my situation is I really want to level this Albatross. And why not take a level on the Dunk? And suddenly we're close. Turn 14. We're so close. What do we face? Let's slow the battles down from here on out. The Icky ruins this guy's blobfish plans. There goes the Icky. Bang. 55 damage on the Dunk. 81 damage on the Bombus. 99 damage there. Are we just gonna knock this weasel out? We are 108 damage from a 12 attack unit. That's silly. And you know what you can actually do here? If you want to theory craft how you can make a Bombus Dalboni or a low attack unit do even more damage, if I had peeled the Visitor onto the Dunkleosteus, and then I would have one more space, you could run another Albatross behind, right? Or another Manticore. I don't know. Again, I'm not a math guy. Feel free to craft the way you can make this do even more damage. For me, it was just the 100 damage threshold was like the perfect amount. And we roll onwards. I don't get the level 3, so I do throw positioning. I want to lose this turn. We're not playing to get 10 wins, we're playing to get a very cool thing. And look at this, MC Wig. It's a scumbaggy team, but I'm happy to see him. Back in 2023, when Customs Ranked launched, he was one of the leading figures. I know John Bear Second Rock on the Moon would also be happy to see him. What a legend he was, and he's back doing... He's catching up on the scumbaggery that he missed, and here it is, final battle. We go... Whoops, rewind. Have a look at this guy's team. Again, I say this all the time, there's two types of people in Super Auto Pets. The I want to make big number, feel good about myself builds, and then you have this absolute garbage over here. But let's see. Have a look at the damage on the hatching chick. 108 damage from a tier 1 sniper. 12 damage with that. Unfortunately, the behemoth is too big, but there you go. I hope you enjoyed that, and I invite you to theory craft. I think there's actually a way you can do it even with like a mosquito. Potentially. You'd need a Nubus and there's ways you can do it. Anyway, theory craft away, my friends. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm gonna go get ready to see Blackpink. Goodbye.